Jonathan Adeyemi was 32 years old. He was his father's son in the important ways. Steady, hard-working, the kind of man who showed up. Not flashy, not loud, but present, dependable. The kind of man whose colleagues at work always said the same thing when asked about him. Jonathan? You can count on Jonathan. He had built something for himself. Not a fortune, but a foundation. A decent job, a small apartment. Money he had saved with discipline over years. A plan for his life that was clear and thoughtful and real. And at the center of that plan, like the heart at the center of a body, was Kemi. He had met Kemi 4 years before. And from the beginning, she had been different from anyone he had known. She was bright. Not just intelligent, but lit from within. The kind of person who made every room they entered more alive than it was before. She was 27, young, yes, but with a maturity that exceeded her years. She had grown up in a household that knew struggle too, and struggle, when it does not break a person, gives them a particular kind of groundedness that cannot be manufactured. She loved Jonathan quietly, not the loud, performative love of people who need to show the world they are in a relationship. The quiet love of someone who has chosen a person and is settled in that choice. The love that shows up in small things. The meal made without being asked. The call in the middle of the day just to check. The remembering of the small things that most people forget. Jonathan loved her the way his father had taught him a man should love. Not with words, alone, but with consistency, with presence, with the daily unglamorous work of showing someone they matter. They were good together. And in 1 week from that evening, they would stand in front of their families and make it official. Jonathan was the happiest he had ever been in his life. And it was precisely because of this happiness, this particular, full, slightly blinding happiness of a man about to marry the woman he loves, that his father knew the time had come to sit him down. It was evening in the compound. Jonathan was sitting inside the house, probably on his phone or talking with relatives who had begun to arrive for the wedding preparations. The compound was full of the soft chaos of family gathering, voices, movement, the smell of food being prepared. Joel came to the door. He looked at his son. He said simply, "Jonathan, come outside. Sit with me for a moment." Something in his father's voice, not urgency, not alarm, but a particular quietness that meant this is important, made Jonathan put his phone down immediately. He followed his father outside. There was a tree in the compound, not a decorative tree, an old one, planted long before either of them was born. The kind of tree that has been the backdrop to many conversations in many generations. Its branches spread wide, and in the moonlight, the moon was full that night, or close to full. The kind of moon that makes the world look like a different place. Softer and older and more full of meaning. Its shadow lay across the ground in patterns. Joel sat down. He patted the space beside him. Jonathan sat. Joel said, "Jonathan, my son, next Saturday is your wedding day, and I am happy for you. Your mother, wherever she is, would be happy for you. The whole family is happy. I can see the happiness on your face, and it is good, it is right. A man should be happy when he is going to marry. But Jonathan, I need you to listen to me very carefully tonight. Not as someone who is trying to scare you. Not as someone who wants to take your happiness away. As your father. As someone who has walked the road you are about to walk. As someone who has scars from that road that you have seen with your own eyes. Can you hear me, my son, with your full ear?" Jonathan said, "Yes, Papa. I am listening." Joel nodded. He looked up at the moon for a moment. Then he looked at his son and he said, "The first thing I need to tell you, and I know it will sound wrong to you when you hear it, is this, my son. Do not share all your secrets with your wife." Jonathan looked at his father. He said, "Papa, that sounds bad." Joel said, "I knew you would say that. I said the same thing to my own father when he told me, and you are right. It sounds bad. So let me explain to you what I mean. Because I am not telling you to be dishonest with your wife. I am not telling you to hide important things. I am telling you something deeper than that. Something it took me years of pain to understand. Listen. When a woman is in love with you, truly, deeply in love with you, you will feel like the happiest man on the face of this earth. She will make you feel like a king. She will see you in a way that no one else sees you. She will know your fears and your failures and your weaknesses. And she will love you in spite of them, and sometimes because of them. And in those moments, in the warmth of being truly known and truly loved, a man wants to give everything. Wants to open himself completely. Wants to share every secret, every wound, everything he has ever hidden from the world. I understand that feeling. Son, I lived it. But hear me, human beings change. Not all of them, not always. But sometimes when a marriage goes through fire, when things become hard, when you and your wife are no longer on the same side of a situation, people become weapons. And the secrets you gave in love, the vulnerabilities you shared in trust, can become ammunition in a war you did not start and did not want. A woman who loves you will build with you. She will carry the family with you. She will sacrifice and push and pray for the life you are building together. But if something breaks, if the love turns cold for a season, or if something goes very wrong, some women, not all but some, will use what they know against you. They will speak words that you will never forget for the rest of your life. Words built from the secrets you gave them in your most vulnerable moments. I am not telling you this to make you afraid. I am telling you this so that you are wise, so that you choose carefully what you share, so that you know, even in the happiest moments of your marriage, to protect certain things. Not from dishonesty, but from wisdom. Do you understand what I am saying? Jonathan was quiet for a moment. Then he said, I think so, Papa. But how do you know the difference between what to share and what to protect? Joel smiled. He said, that is the right question, my son. That is exactly the right question. And I will come back to it. But first, let me tell you a few other things. Joel continued. He said, Jonathan, you remember 2 months ago when I told you, never marry a woman you do not trust enough. Do you remember? Jonathan said, I remember. Papa, Joel said, and do you remember what else I told you? Do not marry a woman out of pity, because she will pay you back with pain. Now, I need you to look at me and tell me honestly, is Kemi a woman you trust? Is she a woman you are marrying because you truly love her, truly respect her, truly see a future with her? Or is there any other reason behind this marriage? Jonathan looked at his father without hesitation. He said, Papa, I trust Kemi. I love Kemi. I am not marrying her from pity or from pressure. She is the woman I want. Joel studied his son's face for a long moment, the way old men study faces, not with suspicion, but with the ability to read what is underneath the words. The ability that comes from decades of watching people say one thing and mean another. He saw what he was looking for. He nodded. He said, good. Because marriage entered for the wrong reasons cannot be fixed later with right ones. The foundation matters, Jonathan. What you build on determines what can stand. Now let me tell you this, and I need you to keep it in your heart always. Women are wonderful people. Write that in your heart first, before anything else I say. Women are wonderful. Your mother was wonderful. She gave me children I am proud of. She worked hard beside me in the early years. She was my partner in a way that I could not have managed without. But women are also human. And humans, when they are in pain, when they feel unseen, when they feel disrespected or abandoned, they respond in the full range of what being human means, which includes, sometimes, doing things that hurt, saying things that cut, making choices you did not see coming. So when I say you need to understand women, I do not mean to fear them or suspect them or treat them like they are enemies. I mean you need to understand how to be with them, how to hold the marriage without squeezing it too tight or holding it too loose, how to keep the peace without losing your backbone, how to be a husband in the real sense, not just the ceremonial sense. Joel paused. He looked up at the moon again. Jonathan waited. And then his father said something that Jonathan would carry for the rest of his life. Joel said, my son, I want to tell you what makes a wife, not what makes a woman a wife, because not every woman becomes a wife in the true sense. And when you find the one who is, you must recognize it and honor it. A wife listens, not just with her ears, with her attention. She is present when you speak. She hears the things underneath the things. A wife respects you, not because you demand respect, because she has seen who you are and she genuinely honors it. There is a difference between a woman who respects you and a woman who fears you. Fear creates obedience for a season. Respect creates partnership for a lifetime. A wife does not cheat. I know this sounds simple, but infidelity is not just a physical thing, Jonathan. A woman can cheat with her loyalty, giving her trust and her confidence and her true self to someone outside the marriage. Guard the emotional intimacy of your home as much as the physical. Make it a safe place. Make it the best place for both of you to be fully yourselves. A wife puts the family first. She thinks about the children before herself. In the hard moments, she thinks about the home before the noise of the world outside. This does not mean she has no personal life or personal dreams. I am not saying that. But when the choice is between the family and something that will destroy it, she chooses the family. A wife prays for your success, not jealously, genuinely. She wants to see you rise, not because your rising benefits her, but because she loves you and wants what is good for you. When you win, she celebrates you. When you fail, she stays. My son, if Kemi is these things, then love her fully. Love her without holding back. Because that kind of woman is rare, and men who find them and do not treat them properly are fools I have no patience for. Then Joel's voice changed. It became quieter, more personal, more private. The voice of a man going somewhere he did not go often. He said, "Jonathan, you know what your mother did to me. You saw some of it. You do not know all of it. And tonight is not the night for all of it. But you know enough. There were nights, my son, when I cried. Not quietly, not just tears. The kind of crying that comes from a man who has given everything and still found himself standing in his own house, feeling completely alone. The kind of crying that a man does when no one can see him, because a man is not supposed to cry, they say. And so he waits until the world is not watching, and he lets it out in the dark. I know what it feels like to love someone and be used by that love as a weakness against you. I know what it feels like to build with someone and then watch them take the building apart with their own hands. I know what it feels like to hear your own words, words spoken in love, in trust, in the most open and vulnerable moments of your life, spoken back to you as accusations, as evidence, as weapons. I am not telling you this so that you enter your marriage afraid. I am telling you this so that you enter it awake. There is a difference between fear and awareness. Fear makes you close. Awareness makes you wise. I want you to be wise, Jonathan. Not closed, not suspicious, not the kind of man who cannot love fully because he is protecting himself too much, but wise, open-eyed, present. The moon had moved slightly, the way it does in a long conversation, shifting so slowly you do not notice until you look for it again. The compound was quieter now. The relatives had gone inside. The two of them were alone under the tree. Joel said, "You asked me how to cope with a woman, Jonathan. Let me tell you. First, you must be 100% present. Not just physically, mentally, emotionally. A man who is there in body but absent in heart is as useful to a marriage as an empty chair. Your wife will feel your absence even when you are sitting right beside her. Women are sensitive in ways that we men do not always understand. They feel everything. The temperature of your attention, the distance in your eyes, the weight in your silence. Be present, Jonathan. Fully present. Second, learn when to look away from certain things. Now I know this sounds like weakness. It is not weakness, it is wisdom. There are things in a marriage, small things, irritating things, things that have no consequence in the large picture, that a man can choose to see and turn into a battlefield, or choose to note and move past. A man who turns everything into a war will win many arguments and lose his marriage. Learn the difference between the things that must be addressed, which you address clearly, with love but with firmness, and the things that must simply be released. Not every hill is worth dying on, my son. Save your energy for the ones that truly matter. Third, if she listens to you, if she respects you, if she does not cheat, if she cooks with love, if she puts the family first, if she prays for you, then my son, she is a wife, and a wife must be treated like a wife, with love, with honor, with the same respect you are asking from her, with gentleness. And I say this especially to you, because I know you have your father's stubbornness and your father's pride. Gentleness is not the absence of strength. Gentleness is strength that has learned to carry itself carefully around the people it loves. She is still a woman, Jonathan. Always remember that. However strong she appears, however capable, however confident, inside, she needs to be loved. She needs to feel safe. She needs to know that the man she chose will not turn on her, will not diminish her, will not make her feel small. Never make your wife feel small. Not in public, not in private, not when you are angry, not when you are right. Never. There was a long pause. Jonathan sat very still. He was not just hearing his father's words. He was absorbing them, the way young soil absorbs deep rain, feeling them settle into places inside him that he hadn't known were waiting. Joel said, "My son, this marriage you are about to enter, I am not going to lie to you and tell you it will be easy. You will face pain, things that you did not expect, situations that no amount of preparation fully prepares you for. There will be nights you cannot sleep. Not because anything terrible has happened, but because marriage has a way of bringing up everything inside you. Every unresolved thing, every childhood wound, every habit you thought was fine until someone else had to live with it every day. You will have disagreements that feel bigger than they are. You will have silences that feel longer than they are. You will have moments when you look at the person beside you and wonder, briefly, honestly, what you were thinking when you chose this. Every married person who tells you they have never had that moment is not telling you the truth. But here is what I have learned, Jonathan. The couples who survive, who truly build something, are not the ones who never had those moments. They are the ones who had those moments and chose to stay. Who had those moments and chose to talk instead of run. Who had those moments and remembered, in the middle of the frustration, in the middle of the doubt, why they chose each other? That is marriage. Not the wedding, not the first year, not the celebration, the choosing again and again, especially when it is hard, especially when you do not feel like it, especially on the dark days when love feels more like work than feeling. Choosing anyway. That is what I wish someone had told me when I was your age, sitting where you are sitting now. Joel leaned forward now, his elbows on his knees, his voice lower, more intimate. He said, Jonathan, I want to talk to you about tolerance, because I see young men today, intelligent, educated, hard-working young men who have zero tolerance in their marriages, who cannot bend, who cannot absorb, who cannot let anything go. And I watch those men, and I see what happens. A man who can tolerate anything will end up with no one. Show me 10 very successful men, businessmen, even billionaires, who have never been through a divorce. Show them to me. You will struggle. Because no amount of money, no amount of status, no amount of achievement protects a marriage where the people inside it cannot bend a little for each other. Money is not what keeps a woman in a marriage. Not any real woman, not the kind you want. What keeps a woman, what makes her choose her home every day, is love, presence, feeling seen, feeling safe. Feeling that the man she married still chooses her, still notices her, still thinks she matters. Give her that, Jonathan. Give her that consistently. Not on birthdays, not on anniversaries, on ordinary Tuesdays, on tired Fridays, on the mornings when neither of you is your best self. Give her that, and watch what she gives you in return. Then Joel said something that made Jonathan go completely still. He said, My son, I want to tell you about the small things. The world will tell you that love is about big gestures, big gifts, big moments. The world is not wrong. Big moments matter. A man who never makes an effort cannot be surprised when his marriage has no life in it. But I have learned, and this cost me a lot to learn, that marriages are not made in the big moments. Marriages are made in the small ones. Ask your wife how her day was, not as a routine question, as a real question. Look at her when you ask it. Listen when she answers. Follow up. Remember what she told you yesterday, and ask about it tomorrow. Ask about her worries. Because your wife will carry things she will not tell you unless you create the space for her to speak. She will carry concerns about money and children, and her family, and her health, and her fears for the future. And she will carry them silently if the space for sharing is never made. Make the space. It costs you nothing except attention. And attention, my son, is the most valuable currency in a marriage. More than money, more than gifts, more than grand gestures. Your full, genuine attention. When you give a woman that, when she feels that she is truly heard, truly seen, truly known, she will give you the whole world. And when she does not have it, when she is speaking and your eyes are elsewhere, when she shares something and you nod without hearing, when she is right beside you and she might as well be alone, that is when marriages begin to die. Not dramatically, quietly, in the small spaces where attention should have been and was not. Jonathan, pay attention to your wife, always. Joel sat back. He looked at the moon for a long moment. Then he said, My son, there is one more thing. Before Saturday, you have 5 days. 5 days of being an unmarried man. 5 days before you step across a line that, if you are the man I raised you to be, you will not step back from. I am not saying these 5 days to make you afraid of the wedding. I am saying use them wisely. Sit with Kemi, not to eat, not to watch something, not to be in the same room as each other. Sit with her and talk. Talk about your families, both of them. How you will handle her family when they need things. How she will handle your family when they need things. Because families, especially in Nigeria, especially in our culture, will test a marriage more than anything else. Make decisions now, before the wedding, so that when the situation comes, you are not caught off guard and saying different things. Talk about money. Who earns what? How it will be managed? Who keeps what? Because money disagreements destroy more marriages than unfaithfulness does. I have seen it. Couples who loved each other deeply, broken apart by money that was not discussed before it became a problem. Talk about your work, what her expectations are of your hours, what yours are of hers. Because your work will take time from the marriage and she must understand this, not resent it. Talk about children, how many you want, when, how you will raise them, what kind of parents you want to be, what values you want them to have, what you will do differently from what was done to you, and what you will carry forward. These conversations are not romantic, Jonathan. They are not exciting. But they are the conversations that build a marriage that can survive. Do not skip them because they are uncomfortable. Face them together, before Saturday. Because after Saturday, my son, after Saturday, the door closes behind you. And whatever you did not settle before you walked through it, you will settle inside it. And it is much harder to settle things inside a marriage than before one. And then Joel was quiet. For a long moment he just sat beside his son under the tree. The moon was high now. The night was deep and warm. The compound was fully quiet. Jonathan said nothing. He was not ready to speak yet. He was still inside the words his father had given him. Finally, Joel put his hand on his son's shoulder. He said, "Jonathan, I want you to know something. I give you all this advice, not because I am a perfect man, not because my own marriage was a success. You know better than anyone that it was not. I give it to you because of the failures. Because everything I am telling you tonight, I learned it the hard way. Through the sleepless nights, through the arguments that left marks on my spirit, through the moments when I felt completely alone in a house with another person, through the slow, painful process of watching something that was supposed to be forever become something that could not continue. I give you my failures as a gift, so that you do not have to pay for the same lessons. My father gave me this conversation. His father gave it to him. This is what we do. We pour the hard-won wisdom into the next generation so they are not standing naked in the storm. You are my son. I believe in you. I believe in what I see in Kemi. I believe in what you are building. Love her, Jonathan. Respect her. Be present. Be honest from day one. Do not build a version of yourself for her that you cannot maintain. Let her know the real you, with your flaws, your limitations, your weaknesses. Not all at once, but honestly over time. Let her fall in love with the real man, not a performance of a man. Do not promise what you cannot give. Nothing breaks trust faster than a promise that is not kept. Better to under-promise and over-deliver than to fill her heart with expectations you cannot meet. My son, you still have 5 days. Think carefully about what I have said. Not to become afraid, but to become ready. Because after the wedding, after Saturday, there is no turning back. And I say that not as a warning, but as a truth. The best things in life are the ones you cannot turn back from. The ones that demand everything. The ones that grow you in ways that nothing else can. Marriage will grow you, Jonathan. Let it. Do not fight the growing. I wish you all the best, my son. I wish you both all the best. This advice is all I have to give you. This and my prayers every day for the rest of my life. Now go inside, sleep. And in the morning, call Kemi. Tell her you love her, and then sit with her and talk. Jonathan went inside that night, and he did not sleep immediately. He lay on his back in the dark and he thought. He replayed his father's words. Not as a list of instructions, as a map drawn by a man who had walked the territory before him and was showing him where the difficult paths were, where the beauty was, where the danger lay hidden. He thought about his mother, about what he had seen growing up, the arguments he was not supposed to hear but heard, the silences that lasted too long, the specific quiet devastation on his father's face on certain evenings that a child absorbs even without understanding it. He thought about what his father had said about crying in the dark, about a man who had worked and loved and built and still found himself alone in the middle of a marriage. He thought about Kemi, about her laugh, about the way she listened when he talked, the way she was actually present, actually there, about the way she made him feel known, not just admired. He was not afraid, but he was awake in a way he had not been before that tree. In the morning, he called her. He said, "Kemi, I need to see you today. Not for fun, to talk. There are some things I want us to discuss before Saturday." She heard something in his voice, not alarm, but seriousness, and she said, "Is everything okay?" He said, "Everything is more than okay. Just want us to be ready, truly ready. Not just for the wedding, for the marriage." She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Come, I will make us something to eat. We will talk." And they did. They sat together that afternoon, just the two of them, at the table in her small apartment. With plates of food they barely touched because the conversation was too full for eating. Jonathan told her about the conversation under the tree. Not everything, some of it was between him and his father, but the important parts, the parts that needed to become the foundation of their life together. He told her what his father had said about families, about money, about communication, about the small things, and Kemi listened. She did not get defensive. She did not take it as criticism. She understood. Because she was the kind of woman who could hear the intention behind the words. That what Jonathan was doing was not interrogating her. He was opening a door. He was saying, "Let us go into this together, eyes open, honest with each other, ready for the real thing and not just the ceremony." She told him things too. Things about her own family that he needed to know. How her mother would sometimes call in the night when something was wrong and she would need to be there. How she felt about money, that it should be joint, that secrets around finances were the beginning of mistrust. How she wanted children, not immediately, but within 3 years. How she felt about faith, about what she needed from a husband. Not the conversation you have on a date. The conversation you have before you build a life together. They talked for 4 hours. They argued mildly about one thing, the way families should be handled, and then found an agreement that was honest and workable. They laughed too, because not all of it was heavy. Some of it was the joyful laughter of two people discovering that they want the same things, that the map they each drew separately of the life they wanted actually looks remarkably similar when you put them side by side. By the time Jonathan stood to leave, something had shifted between them. They were not just two people who loved each other and were getting married on Saturday. They were two people who had chosen to enter the marriage honestly, awake, with the difficult conversations already spoken, already held, already put on the table where both of them could see them. At the door, Kemi held his face in her hands. She said, "Your father is a wise man." Jonathan smiled. He said, "He paid a high price for the wisdom. I am just grateful he gave it to me for free." She kissed him. He held her for a moment, and then he went home to finish preparing for Saturday, for the beginning of the rest of his life. Saturday came, as Saturdays always come, with all the noise and color and beautiful chaos that a Nigerian wedding carries. The compound was transformed, canopies and lights and chairs, and the smell of food that had been cooking since the previous evening. Women in matching aso-ebi, moving with the particular purposeful grace of people who know exactly what they are doing. Men in agbada standing in clusters, talking with the ease of celebration. Children running where children always run. Everywhere, through everything. In the spaces between the adults, full of the pure energy of a day that means the adults are too busy to redirect them. Music, so much music. And in the middle of all of it, Jonathan, standing straight in his suit, looking at the entrance through which Kemi would come. His father sat in the front row. Joel, 65 years old, in a beautifully pressed traditional attire, the navy blue and gold that his children had chosen for him. He sat with the bearing of a man who has done something that matters. Not the bearing of a proud father at a celebration, though he was that too. The bearing of a man who has fulfilled a duty, who has given his son something real. He caught Jonathan's eye across the space between them. He nodded. Jonathan nodded back. No words. None were needed. Between them, across a wedding canopy, in the middle of all that color and noise, past the full understanding of a moonlit night under a tree, and the father's voice saying, "My son, listen carefully." And then Kemi came, and Jonathan, looking at her, forgot everything except her. The way she moved, the way she smiled, the way she looked at him when their eyes met, with the full, unhurried certainty of a woman who has chosen deliberately and is glad of her choice. He did not cry, but his jaw tightened in the way of a man holding something large inside himself that he does not yet have words for. Joel, from the front row, saw it, and he permitted himself, for just a moment, a private smile. Good, he thought. He is feeling it. He is not just going through the ceremony. He understands what he is entering. The marriage began, not with perfection, because no marriage begins with perfection, and any marriage that claims to is lying about its beginning. But it began with foundation. That is different, that is rarer, and that is worth more. The first year had the adjustment pains that every first year has. Learning to share a space with someone, learning someone else's rhythms, discovering the habits that are charming in a boyfriend or girlfriend and become more complicated in a spouse you see every single morning. Kemi was not always easy. She was a woman of strong opinions, and she was not shy about expressing them. There were evenings, more than a few in the first year, when Jonathan had to remember his father's words about looking away from certain things, about choosing which hills to defend and which to release. He did not always get it right. No one does. But he tried, and trying, consistent, genuine, humble trying, covers more distance in a marriage than being right. Jonathan was not always easy either. He carried his father's stubbornness, as Joel had warned. He sometimes went quiet in disagreements, retreated into himself when he should have spoken, and Kemi felt his absence even when he was physically present. She told him, directly, without cruelty, the way she told him most things. She said, "When you go quiet, Jonathan, I feel like I am talking to a wall. I need you to stay in the room with me, even when it isn't comfortable." He heard her. He worked on it, because his father had said, "Listen to her, be close to her." And because he understood, having had the conversation under the tree, that the alternative to doing this work was a marriage that would slowly, quietly die from the inside, while both of them pretended it was fine. He refused to have that marriage. He had seen what that looked like in his father's eyes on certain evenings. He refused to pass it on. Money came and money went. As it does in Nigeria, in a country where the economy does not always cooperate with your plans, no matter how disciplined you are. There were hard months. Months when the savings had to be touched. Months when Kemi's business had a difficult season and Jonathan's salary carried more than it had been designed to carry. And because they had talked about money before Saturday, because the framework was already there, they did not fight about the hard months in the ways that could have broken something permanently. They sat at the table together. They looked at the numbers together. They made decisions together. Not one of them managing alone and resentful. Both of them managing together and carrying it as a shared weight. Joel had said, talk about finance. They talked about finance. And when the hard months came, the talking had already been done, and the trust had already been built, and the foundation held. Children came. First a daughter, whom they named in a ceremony full of family and thanksgiving. A girl with her mother's eyes and, from the first weeks, her father's quiet intensity. Then 2 years later, a son. Jonathan sat in the hospital the night his son was born and thought, for a long time, watching the sleeping baby in the hospital bassinet, about his father's voice under the tree. He thought, one day I will sit this boy down. One day, God willing, when he is grown enough to hear it and young enough to use it, I will take him somewhere quiet, under a tree maybe, or wherever the equivalent is in the life we are building, and I will give him what my father gave me, everything that was given to my father, everything that my marriage has added, all of it, so that the chain does not break, so that the wisdom travels forward. He texted his father that night, a long message sent at 2 in the morning from a hospital chair. It said, Papa, your grandson is here. He is healthy. Kemi is okay. I am okay. I am sitting here watching him sleep and I keep thinking about the tree, about what you said. Papa, I understand now more than I did on that night what you were giving me. I want you to know, I am using it every day. I am using it. Thank you. Thank you for sitting me down. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for loving me enough to tell me the hard things when my happiness wanted only to hear the easy ones. I love you, Jonathan. Joe read that message in the morning, in his bedroom, still in bed, with the particular quiet of an old man's early morning around him. He read it twice. He put the phone on his chest, and he looked at the ceiling for a long time. And in his heart, in the part of his heart that still carried the wounds of his own marriage, the part that sometimes in the night still remembered the crying, something healed. Something that had been waiting to heal for a very long time. Healed. I want to tell you about Joel, because this story is not only Jonathan's story. It is also the story of a man who went through fire, who was burned by a marriage that did not survive, and who chose, out of that fire, not to become bitter, not to become the kind of father who poisons his son against women, who turns his pain into his son's suspicion, who uses his own wounds as a weapon against the next generation's hope. Joel could have done that. It would have been understandable. He had real wounds, real grief, real reasons to be hard and closed and cynical. Instead, he sat under a tree with his son and said, women are wonderful people. He said that first, before the warnings, before the wisdom, before the hard truths. Women are wonderful, because they are. And Joel, a man who had been hurt deeply by a woman, still knew this, still believed it, had not let his personal pain become a general verdict. That is character. That is the kind of character that produces sons who can love well, because their father modeled how to carry pain without becoming weaponized by it. Joel lived to see his grandchildren. He came for the naming ceremonies. He sat with the children and told them stories, old stories, the kind that came from his own father and his father's father. Stories that carried values inside them like seeds. He and Jonathan had a relationship after that moonlit night that was different from what it had been before. Deeper, more honest. Two men, one older and one younger, who had spoken the real things to each other and found that the real things made the relationship stronger rather than weaker. They would sit together sometimes, Joel visiting, the children in bed, Kemi having gone to sleep early after a long day, and they would talk about the marriage, about what was working, about what was hard, about the things Jonathan was still learning, about the things Joel wished he had done differently. Two men, under whatever light was available, sometimes a kitchen light, sometimes the television glow, continuing the conversation that had started under a tree in the moonlight, passing it forward, the way wisdom always survives, not in books, not in institutions, not in formal teachings, but in these conversations. These quiet, honest, personal conversations between people who love each other enough to say the true things. This is how families survive. This is how love is taught. Marriage counselors' closing advice, my friends. I want to stay with you for a few more minutes. Because Joel sat under a tree and gave his son something that I spend years in counseling trying to give people. But by the time they come to me, the damage has already been done. The wounds are already open. The marriage is already in crisis. Joel gave his son the wisdom before, and that is the most powerful time to receive it. So let me be Joel for a few minutes. Let me speak to you, not after the crisis, but now, before it, in the ordinary time, in the peaceful time, when you can actually hear clearly without the noise of pain and defensiveness. On Joel's warning about secrets, Joel said, "Do not share all your secrets with your wife." I want to explain what he truly meant, because this is important and can be easily misunderstood. He was not advising deception. He was advising wisdom in vulnerability. There is a difference between healthy openness and reckless exposure. A healthy marriage is honest, but honesty does not require you to harden someone. Every single vulnerability you possess and trust that it will never be used against you. The correct application of Joel's wisdom is this: build trust first, earn trust first. Let trust grow in your marriage through consistent daily experience. And as trust grows, as you see over time that your partner handles your vulnerabilities with care and not with contempt, then you open more. Do not give everything on day one to someone who has not yet proven they can hold it. And in a difficult marriage, if you have a partner who has used your secrets against you, that is a sign that the trust has been broken and needs repair before more vulnerability can safely flow. Get counseling, get help. Do not simply stop trusting everyone, but do not continue giving yourself to someone who has shown you repeatedly that your vulnerabilities will be weaponized. Joel's wisdom is not about closing. It is about being careful, about being thoughtful, about understanding that real intimacy, the kind that is truly safe, is built over time and must be earned.